It's actually insane to me that there's only one episode left of Daredevil Born Again. We just watched episode 8, and I'm going to be breaking it down and also giving my thoughts on the episode overall. So let's break it down. What is going on, guys? My name is Chubbs, and I've been doing YouTube for quite a while, and I made this brand new channel to mostly talk about movies and TV shows and all the things that I'm interested in. Daredevil Born Again was one of the main reasons that I wanted to even start this channel in the first place, because I was really enjoying pretty much all the show for the most part, and I just wanted to give my thoughts on everything, because I'm a huge fan of the original Netflix show as well. So I was really, really excited. And episode 8 did not disappoint. We're going to get into pretty much everything. Bullseye is back. Very excited to see him. Next week, again, is the finale, which is absolutely insane. We are going to be getting Punisher back. So I am looking forward to it. And then once the show is finally over, I will be making a video where I rank all the episodes from worst to best and kind of give my general thoughts on the season as a whole. All right, so the episode begins with Bullseye, and we learn that he is getting moved to the general population of the prison. And prior to him being moved there, he was actually in some sort of enhanced part of the prison where they keep, enhanced individuals. And he mentions that to one of the guards. And we learn that Kingpin is the one that actually moved him because he wants Bullseye dead for some reason. And so there's kind of a lot of things with him, Bullseye, and Matt that, again, we'll kind of get into later on in the video once we get to it. It then goes to Heather and Matt, a scene with them, and they're basically arguing over Daredevil and Muse. Buck comes to give Heather an invitation to Kingpin's party, and I did like how it's switching back and forth between Matt and Kingpin. They did that quite a lot throughout the season. One of the main ones was when he was becoming Daredevil again, and Kingpin goes down to Adam and starts beating the crap out of him. So it's like a parallel that Matt is becoming Daredevil and Fisk is becoming Kingpin again. But they keep going back to scenes where they, are Matt's having a conversation with someone, and then it cuts to Fisk having a conversation with someone. Just goes back and forth between them, which I really enjoy those scenes. It really shows that these two guys are the main focal point of the show, which I really do like. I did find it interesting. Heather is and Matt are, again, they're arguing over Daredevil and Muse. Heather has a very strong opinion about vigilantes, people wearing masks. She doesn't really care whether they're good or bad. She doesn't like them at all. And Matt is trying to tell her, like, whoa, like, Daredevil was there to save you. And she was kind of comparing Daredevil and Muse, and he was not having it at all. Kind of got him upset. And then, like I mentioned before, Buck comes and gives her an invitation. So Matt is really upset that she knows Buck and Mayor Fisk. He is basically onto Heather and, asking her if Mayor Fisk is a client to her. And she, of course, denies it. But, Matt just knows that she's lying. And he definitely knows that something is up. He is very upset with Fisk because Matt knows that Fisk is just using Heather to get to him. And Heather doesn't see it that way, so she's very concerned about Matt this whole entire episode. And Matt's just like, you don't understand. Like, he's just a monster, and she's just not hearing it. Kingpin shows Vanessa his man cave where he's holding Adam hostage. This is a pretty interesting scene. Kingpin talks about Adam's hands, which Vanessa said that was one of the main things that attracted her to Adam in the first place. So I thought, Kingpin would have been so upset by that, he would have cut Adam's hands off or burned them or something, made them ugly, because he couldn't stand the fact that Vanessa liked his hands. And this scene was funny because there was actually a lot of funny scenes in this episode that I thought. But Kingpin kind of having a crash out where he's yelling. He's like, "Shut up" to Adam, and he's like so mad at him. And Vanessa is actually one that kills Adam. I was not expecting that at all. But when she kills him, it was sort of like a healing process that we learn later on when she's talking to Heather at the party. But it sort of like healed their relationship in a way, which was very interesting. Very two psychotic people that killing someone and then bonding over that. But also, she cheated on him with she cheated on Fisk with Adam, so she was kind of getting rid of that part of her. And you can say that was sort of their healing process, whatever. We get some more updates on the character of Daniel, uh, Mayor Fisk Jr., and he's a pretty interesting character. He gets named deputy mayor for communications because of his threats that he made to BB. And there's some interesting stuff with BB later on at the end of the episode. But yeah, Daniel gets promoted big time. Sheila is actually quite upset with this. She doesn't think that Daniel is ready. And of course, Daniel thinks that he is. So we'll have to see if they do anything with that in the finale. I'm assuming they are. There's so much they have to get to in episode 9. It's kind of crazy. I mean, they got to finish off the Punisher storyline. Punisher is going to be the next episode. Bullseye, Fisk, Matt. I mean, yeah, it's kind of crazy how much. I wonder how long next week's episode's going to be. I'm going to be pretty upset if it's like 40 minutes or something. Matt and Kirsten have a new client. Before they go meet him, Kirsten basically tells Matt that Bullseye was moved to Gen Pop, and Mayor Fisk is the reason for that, which that is kind of leads Matt to questioning everything about the night that Foggy died. And so he wonders now if there's like a connection there, and he just doesn't understand it. It's funny because he blows up at his new client, which I thought was a pretty funny scene. It's this very privileged guy, and Matt just kind of puts him in his place and just storms off like he's so mad. After that, we return back to Josie's bar. Matt has not been back to Josie's bar since Foggy has passed away, and it's shut down. Like I said, mostly after that night, Josie just shut it down. Cherry shows up and again thinks that, and Matt thinks that Fisk, Dex, and Foggy are all connected. He just doesn't know how. And I kind of thought this in the beginning, but to me, it didn't make sense. Later on, we learned that Vanessa is the one that hired Dex to kill Foggy. We have no idea why she did that. Maybe just to get revenge on Matt, because she knew that Matt was Daredevil. That's one thing. But I had initially thought, oh, possibly it's Fisk that did it. But again, it didn't make sense because Dex would want all the Netflix stuff as canon. So Dex was very upset with Kingpin at the end of season 3 because of what he did to his fake girlfriend that he stalked. And so it didn't make sense that they would be buddies now trying to get back at Matt, because Dex was just very upset with Kingpin, not necessarily Matt at that point. Matt goes and talks to Dex. This was by far my favorite scene of the episode. I was not expecting Matt to go full hog wild on Dex, and he slams his face into the table. We learn that Matt is actually the one responsible for Dex getting his tooth and being able to use that to escape. So I wonder in the next episode if they're going to address that at all, and if Matt's going to even realize or feel any guilt for that. But I did think that scene was really good and crazy. Matt just, he's not having it with Dex. Dex wants to save his own skin because he's in the Gen Pop, and he knows that he's in a bad place. And Matt just does not want to help him at all. And of course, he killed his best friend. And then we go to Fisk's party. This is kind of where the end takes place. Kingpin is wearing his white suit again. We got full Kingpin, and he's looking a little chunky, a little beefy in the suit. So all those cheap meals, down there while Adam's watching him and suffering, it's making him gain some weight. We saw that last week because his suit tore when Vanessa was trying to put it on him. So he's gaining some weight back. Again, Vanessa says to Heather that things are back to normal between her and Fisk because of what happened with Adam. And all throughout this party, Fisk is talking to the people there, trying to get them to support what he's doing at the docks, because a lot of them were not having it last time. And so he's kind of taking them individually, and he takes Jack the swordsman from the Hawkeye show. He takes them individually into the room and basically just threatens them and has them support him due to those threats and everything. So again, this is full Kingpin. He's back in motion, threatening people, using his power. Even Daniel, when he's talking to BB, he said they're observing Fisk, and he's like that is true power right there. And it's interesting, Daniel just idolizes Fisk for some reason. That's why everyone calls him Fisk Jr. And even the police are there. His task force are there for protection at the party. So, all those people are are not working for the commissioner anymore. They're working for Fisk. And the commissioner does realize this because a journalist is there, and he sneaks a picture of Fisk, and Fisk tells Officer Powell and the other people to go grab him. And they basically burn his hand in the air fryer. And before that, the commissioner confronts Powell, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna charge you for assault if you do this." And he's like, "No, you're not. We don't work for you anymore." And so at that point, the commissioner, he already knew, but he fully realized at that point that he does not have any power anymore. It's solely just Fisk, and this leads to BB Urich, who is the niece of Ben Urich from Daredevil season 1. But we learn from her that she ends up going up to the commissioner and basically tells him, like, "Hey, I'm on your side." And he tells her that Fisk was the number one suspect in Ben Urich's murder. She says that she knew. So that was something that, we just learned in this episode. A lot of people were speculating whether she knew or not that Kingpin had killed her uncle. I think, again, a lot of people suspected that, but we didn't know for sure until now. So she actually writes stories under another name trying to expose Fisk. And so the commissioner is going to give her dirt on all of the task force cops. And so she's going to be using that in the future. Probably, again, season 2 is when she's going to be exposing a lot of Fisk under a new name. But right now she's kind of flying under Fisk's radar and acting like she's, essentially just working for him. So I thought that was pretty interesting. The BB stuff this season has not been too interesting up until this point. And again, it sucks because it's the end of the season. When all these things come to fruition. I am loving this show, but there are a lot of problems with it. They're showing episodes every single week when it's a show that's meant to be binged. And I think that is really having a problem. I think it took too long to get Matt back in the suit as well. So I have my issues with that. Dex escapes prison. I really enjoyed this scene. He kills the guard with his tooth that Matt knocked out of him. And the sound effects when he like takes the tooth out were pretty nasty and gnarly. And Dex is crazy. I mean, he spits his tooth into the guard's eye so fast. Like the guard's like screaming and wailing and stuff. Now, he doesn't kill the guard just with that one, spit of the tooth, but it's kind of crazy to think that someone could do that just with one tooth. I know that scene, I've seen pictures, it was ripped right out of the comics. So I thought that was pretty cool. And yeah, this basically leads back into the party. Fisk is dancing with Vanessa, which I thought was pretty funny. And Matt cuts in because he ends up realizing that Vanessa's the one that hired Bullseye to take out Foggy. Again, he doesn't know why Vanessa's denying it. Kingpin does not know at all. This is at a point to where Kingpin was gone from Vanessa to when she did this. And then Bullseye's there. I think he's pointing, it shows that he's pointing at Matt, but he ends up shooting, I think, at Fisk. So it was kind of hard to see kind of exactly who he was there for. I'm pretty sure it was Fisk because Matt, jumps in front of him and he gets shot. And it's supposed to parallel the shot with Foggy. And it shows Matt's heartbeat at the end there. So it's going to be interesting to see Matt hop back into the Daredevil suit next episode, after all this has gone down. I wonder how much of a gap next episode is versus now, if it takes place right after. That would be pretty crazy if Matt, is able to flip around as Daredevil after being shot essentially through the heart. I mean, he wasn't, he would be dead, but it was right around there. So again, I really enjoyed this episode. I did think there were some really funny scenes. I thought Daniel and BB dancing was funny. Fisk yelling, screaming like a child, as well as dancing with Vanessa. He was like just going like this all the time, and I thought that was pretty funny. So yeah, we didn't get Matt in the suit this episode, but I don't think that, this episode didn't need Matt in the suit to be good. Which I really enjoyed. It just really bums me out that we only have one more left, so it'll be very sad when the show ends. But they are filming season 2 right now, so looking forward to that. I'm kind of nervous for the last episode. They have so much to wrap up here, and again, they're putting the Punisher in here. even though he wasn't involved mostly in the season at all, but they're putting him in the finale along with all these other characters wrapping up their storylines for the season. Just wondering how they're going to juggle it all. But I would really like to hear what you guys thought about the episode down in the comments below. What do you think of the show overall? And if you guys want to check out some of my other content, it'll be linked right here. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.